What's the weirdest thing you've done that you could only tell people anonymously? Once I got off the subway in NYC, and I was super early for an appointment. So I picked a random guy and just followed him on foot for like 30 minutes, pretending I was like a private detective or something. Always kept about a half block behind. He turned this way and that, and eventually went into a building I had lived in 9 years earlier. It was weird, and so was I. Stole over 1,000 wafers from church, because I really liked the communion wafers and didn't know where else to get them. I felt really blessed and cursed for a long time. I found a dead rat in a field when I was younger and kissed it. I wanted to say goodbye. When I was younger, I joined an international dating site that I figured was a scam. Put a black square as my picture and gave myself a fake name, and then looked through their users. And after about 10 minutes I had like 100 messages. Most of them were messages telling me how handsome I was, or how these women fell in love with me at first sight. Now I knew it was a scam, but whenever I felt down or got rejected for a while I would pop back on the site and read a few messages. Yeah, it's kinda cringy, and probably pathetic, but it made me feel better. I would just turn off that logical part of my brain that knew it was a scam for a while and just pretend I was this popular and desirable guy. And it honestly got me through the day sometimes. I helped my partner get unimpacted after a surgery. I am not sure I would ever be successful in the medical field. I was extremely socially isolated as a child and tried to make friends with the coyotes who lived in the woods by our home. I caught one in a snare and fed and kept her. I wanted a friend. Started compulsively keeping track of things in notes, books I'd read, outfits I'd worn, legs of flights I'd taken. I was trying to space out my hair washing, so I even started tracking that on a calendar and ended up tracking it for 7 years straight. I had a baby by C-section and didn't take the stool softeners, found out the hard way that I should have. I was drunk once, a long time ago when I was so young, peed standing over the toilet and showed it to my crush saying, "Hey, I can do it too." We dated for 2 years after that. I put the handle of a 10-inch telescopic police baton up my arse and haven't been the same since. My partner is weirdly prone to cysts. I had to drain a 3-inch cyst on her back. Thankfully she had a DR's appointment the next week. Then multiple other little cysts on her legs and chest. I never told her to her face, but that first giant cyst literally haunted me, the amount of pus and blood I saw, good heavens. I was in the woods in the middle of the night tripping. I decided to shove snow inside me. Wanted to know what it felt like. It felt cold. I once attended a silent disco event at a park, but I didn't have any headphones. So, I just danced along with everyone to the silent beats, pretending to hear the music. It was bizarre to dance in silence, and I couldn't tell anyone because they'd think I was crazy. I write Guardians of the Galaxy fanfic. My favorite author in the fandom likes my stuff. It's so much fun, and I wish I could talk about it with people IRL. I nared my nuts. Worst pain ever. Update. For those wondering why it hurt so bad. I left it on too long and got chemical burns. Walked bow-legged for a few days. I did this many years ago in my late 20s. It was my girlfriend's idea at the time. Gathered apple seeds, 'cause I heard they had cyanide in them back when I was trying to find ways to self-heat. Hold on, I gotta switch to my even more anonymous account for this. Pooped into a trash can. My dog's poop was clogging up the toilet and I didn't have time or a plunger to get it out. I could feel my poop leaving my body, so I grabbed my large trash can from the kitchen nearby, waddled to the restroom, took off the lid, and said a little prayer before squatting over the can. I downloaded Grindr so guys would DM me compliments as a boost to my self-confidence. Was in a throuple for 3 years on the DL in the deep religious South. I was a nurse at the local hospital, hubby was a principal at the JR High, and our GF was head of the English department of the school district, the next town over. Our close friends knew, but not really something I can talk about in the break room, you know. Relationship ended for various reasons, but was sure fun while it lasted. I have destroyed my life by using heroin, and eventually fentanyl/tranq. I am right now recovering from surgery. I had to have my right arm and part of my shoulder amputated due to the tranq and the drugs I was using intravenously, literally rotting away my arm. I have been in the hospital for almost 3 months. I have lost everything. I have no family or friends left, no savings or income, and no place to live. I am going to be released in 6 days, and I am scared to death. I don't know what to do or where to go. I live in Philadelphia, and I am really not happy to be leaving. Chugged altar wine, ate communion hosts, and then wheelied my BMX bike off the altar and down the aisle of my church. There were 3 of us,